to counter these negative thoughts that are coming, we need to think about what it is that we're watching across the board. And it's not just social media, it's TV, it's what podcasts you're listening to, it's what humans in your circle that are loud, but they don't even know what they're talking about, or the people that are the loudest but also uneducated. So we really need to tune up our filter when we're trying to do better things, be better, move in a different direction.
Welcome to Lead Like a Girl, where we are empowering everyday women through our stories. I'm your host, Jessica Smith, and I began this journey by sharing my life story. Now, I've joined forces with my longtime friends, Jamie and Corlin, to keep this party going. We met many years ago as young sales girls in our 20s, driven and quickly rising to the top of our industry. As the years went on, life happened, and we all found ourselves in new companies and completely different industries, still striving for success in it all. Career, family, faith, fun. Now, it wasn't easy, but we never stopped moving. Get ready for our real conversations, inspiring stories, and our big life lessons as we share it all. The good, the bad, and the funny. Welcome to Lead Like a Girl.
Welcome back to another episode of Lead Like a Girl. I am Cora Lynn. I'm here with my two amazingly beautiful best friends, Jamie and Jessica.
I'm changing my name, by the way. I just want to let you know now.
What are you changing your name to?
My stage name. I'm going to have a stage name before I have a stage.
And it's not like Sasha Fierce or something?
Call me Jessica Marie. You like it?
Do we have to? It was hard enough calling you Jessica Smith. I don't think I'm adding any other middle names to your situation.
No, just
And is that Miss Jackson if you're nasty?
No. No. Just
oh my gosh. Okay. We're going to hop right into it, ladies, unless you want to talk about your week. Do you guys have stuff to talk about? Jamie's actually, listeners, Jamie is getting married in T-2 weeks, and I'm really excited about that. So all three of us are going to be in the same state.
Jamie, can we have like a live podcast episode at your wedding? How cool would that be?
Can you bring
interrupt your normal broadcast of the wedding to come live with the Lead Like a Girl family?
I do have a live band, so you could grab their mic and you could do something to promote it.
I'll try not.
I can plan things when it's like the last minute. Like I could throw you a kick butt party, like if I have 2 days notice, but when I have like 6 months notice, I just like,
it's too much.
I'm a procrastinator.
But I'm good at better at it when it's that way. Like I can throw it together at the last minute, but this week and next week, I'm just like, we'll see.
It's time. It's time to start throwing stuff together, Jamie.
Yep. It's in a week and a half.
Well, we will be at your beck and call on Thursday, so you just put our tails to work and we will bring it together.
There you go.
With you.
And maybe do a podcast episode in between. Go ahead.
All right. I'm going to start off our conversation here with a little confession. So a couple weeks ago, I was sitting in my car. I had just went to the gym, right? And I go to the gym kind of regularly, but I was feeling really good. It was a hard class. I was super sweaty and I just kicked butt at this class. And I made the stupid mistake of sitting in my car. I get on my phone, start scrolling through social media, and I follow super fit ladies and successful women and all these things. And I'm scrolling. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So I went from feeling like $1 million to why do I suck so much? And legit had this feeling.
Yeah.
And do you guys ever do? I don't know. It's just so dumb. Why do I do that? One, why do I do that? And two, why do I feel that way? I have it's this comparison spiral that I sometimes go down. And so that's what I want to talk today. I maybe need a little bit of intervention in my own, like Jessica, you just slap me upside the face and like, why do you think this way? But that's what I want to talk about. It just hit me a little bit. And one, I want to know, do you guys ever do that? Am I the only one?
I do in different areas. So I used to do it a lot. Well, now I don't have as much time for social media, but and when I do, it's usually about me. So I'm like posting something, then I'm out of there. So you should try that. But
You should try that.
I do feel that when it comes
Focus on
to
yourself, which is probably a true statement. Like point number one,
yeah,
Mhm.
stop looking at everybody else's bobber.
yeah. But I'll tell you in the area that I do that more than like that type of stuff is careers. Like I sometimes look at someone that is, getting promoted or maybe, speaking or, just things like that, more career focused.
Mhm.
But I get what you're saying where you want to be happy for them, but then you can't help but to feel like, what the hell am I doing with my own life that all of these people are doing these great, amazing things? And it's just not happening fast enough. And sometimes you feel like you're even going backwards. So,
Oh
yes,
my
there are
god.
some areas where I think it's just naturally, especially those of us that are like competitive, it's hard not to. And I don't even know that I think it's unhealthy. I think it maybe a small dose of it is good. It's just a matter of don't stay there. Just
Mhm.
don't stay in that
Mhm.
space, right? What do
Yeah.
you think, Jamie?
I
Jamie's
this
gonna
is
say, sometimes I see people's dishes that they're cooking and mine doesn't look like that.
Oh, mine looks better than that. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Have you eaten at my house?
Right.
Um, no, this is really, it's kind of lighthearted, I guess, version of this, but my daughter graduated from high school yesterday. And one of the things I noticed was some of the kids walk across the stage and literally half the attendees are clapping and cheering and screaming, and then other kids walk across the stage and four people are clapping, and then you know what I mean. I didn't really honestly think about that until that we just started this, because I was even that day I looked at all of, I had my daughters there, Brad, Sophie's dad, the family, and I'm like, oh, we have to cheer really loud. There's only six of us here or whatever. We have to cheer really loud for her so that she, whatever. But I was like, that's also a
So
thing,
she
right?
gets properly validated because that's what we're
Yes,
conditioning.
yes. Like, so she's not walking across the stage and thinking there's only five people here. No, we were screaming and like cheering. But that's, I suppose that's a little equates more to like popularity, right? And this of course is high school, so whatever. But
Yeah.
I think that happens though too with like accolades in your professional career. Like, the same person always wins the award, or like the same, maybe that's not a performance thing. Maybe it's whatever, he's a team player or whatever. And it's like, man, I really tried for that. And this other person keeps winning it. Come on. Like, I'm trying
Yeah.
for that. So I can see the comparison spiral for sure in many areas.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I want to talk about today. So,
So,
I
Jamie, do you think it's unhealthy?
Okay. Yeah, well, let's talk about it. So okay, to lay the ground, I think comparison is not just noticing when somebody else is doing well. I think that that's totally fine and we should, because cheering on other people, especially other women, is super healthy. It's really important. Jamie, like you're cheering for your daughter. We should be cheering on people who are doing well and it can be inspiring. But the that spiral where it starts to get a little bit more negative is that when you start using somebody else's highlight reel, I mean specifically through social media and stuff like that, to start writing a story or start having that inner dialogue that I'm somehow, because they're winning, I'm somehow losing, or I'm inadequate, or I'm not showing up the best, or what the heck am I doing, right? So it's just that moment when we go from wow, that's amazing, to what the heck am I doing? It's that outward celebration versus inward shames. Really, it comes down to that shame or like inadequacy. And so it's kind of that, I think.
Well, just speaking, if we're just speaking of social media, I would really challenge you to think about it from the standpoint of most of the stuff we see on social media isn't even real. That's how I look at it.
Right.
That same thing. I was about to get in there.
Yeah, that's the part that, so you, I agree with the comparing, but I just think that social media is the easiest one to not do it because I don't believe anything I see anymore. Like in AI, now that just social media was like one thing. It's like, oh, okay, well, she probably doesn't. I know angles are very important. How you take a picture, and her ass really doesn't look like that in person. But now,
Maybe it does though.
but maybe it does. But I'm just saying that now, even with AI, it's like you can't believe anything you see, much less make a comparison to yourself when it's just not even real at all.
Right. 100%.
Then there's the the couples that you're always like, they look so happy. They're always so lovey-dovey, and they just like, and again, to me, when I see that a lot, I'm like, who are you trying to convince? Me or you? Like, it's just this like, I don't, and maybe I'm just a skeptic. I just don't think that it's real. I think the more people show that type of stuff, there's nothing wrong with showing it, but the more you show that type of stuff, I think it's trying to prove something to someone. And the more I see it, the more I don't believe that it's real, much less I'm not going to compare my relationship to that one.
Do you guys ever feel when people show you their real human nature? I feel sometimes I get happy inside, not because they're failing, but it's just because, oh, you're like me.
Yeah.
Yeah. You are actually super normal, and it somehow brings me some inner joy because it's like maybe there's a little piece of me that I don't have to go 90 all the time. Like it gives me a little
Yeah.
I like the
I can settle down and not feel bad.
I like the friends of mine that I have where basically our relationship is trading self-deprecating memes. I just saw one today about going to the gym, and then it had the flip side and the girls jumping, and then she just jumps on the couch. This is why I don't go to the gym. And these are the kinds of things I want. I love motivating myself and each other and you guys and people. Like I love being a person who says, no, we're going. I know you don't want to go, but we're going to go. But I equally love that, what you just said, Corlin, where you find out somebody's just like actually like even some of because I follow some fitness people on social media too, even when they post something with them wearing, eye patches or zip pads or something like that, I'm like, oh, good. Okay. Like you don't always
oh
look
my
like
gosh. I was so same. I had this girl I follow literally took a selfie of herself, in a tank top, bra top with, it looked like she had abs, and she's like, oh, this is how I look, but she's like, this is also how I look. And so she was doing a plank, and you could see where she had just an inch of just skin hanging underneath her body, and she's exceptionally normal. Or you pull your your high-waisted pants, you like put them down just a little bit, and you're like, oh, there's my muffin top.
Yeah.
I'm good.
oh, it's still there.
Yeah, but she was trying to be real. Like she's like, I can make this image and make myself look absolutely perfect, but I'm also exceptionally human in the same pose.
So that just,
I appreciate that. I appreciate
that just made me think about, so Will and I are teaching this class on Sundays about character development. And usually the pastor teaches this class, and he's real too. But there was a moment where I was like, I don't know about you guys, but now that we've been talking about this for the last 4 weeks, is it just me? Like random crazy shit pops in my head. Like, like I was talking about the girl at CVS today.
Just discovered that.
Wait, and when I shared some of my crazy thoughts, like when I tell you the look, there's probably like 30 people in this class. When I tell you the excitement, the roar from the room, like it was just, I'm looking like, oh my God, why are they so happy about these horrible thoughts that I'm confessing right now? And their
Because
faces, and you know what it was? They were like, oh my gosh, you too? And
You too. It was like Night at the Roxbury. We were literally
I
come
was
dance
telling
next
them
to
how
you.
I was feeling. I almost F-bombed in church. Or I was like, this is like a real thing. Like, here I am going down this road of character development. And I'm like, and this lady, and I wanted to just choke her ass. And I didn't say ass, but anyway, the point I'm making is that I can't tell you how much joy it brought me to see their faces light up, because it was almost like they really thought they were the only ones that had these random, awful, evil thoughts, even though they loved the Lord. And I was like, no, no,
yeah,
I have them all the time.
Mm-hmm. I did a little bit of research, and I'm not going to share all these crazy stats because I feel like we kind of know what the deal is. But there was a couple interesting things that came up, and one is that it said that social comparison is a deeply human behavior. Like it's very natural for us to
Mhm.
compare ourselves to other people.
Yeah.
And it goes back to like heavy psychology from like the 50s, but it says we are literally wired to evaluate ourselves against others.
Mhm.
So it's not really a weakness, it's a biology, but it goes on to say it's what you do with those thoughts, it makes all the difference. Does it amplify what you're doing, or does it make you criticize your own inner? So
Right.
that's one of two. That's so we're wired to do this, but you just have to control that thought process behind it. But it also said too is that studies show that passive scrolling, so this like doom scrolling that I did after I
yeah.
went to the gym, I was like super productive and then like thwarted myself. It says that it's far more linked to negative self comparison than actively posting or commenting. So basically, lurking on social media is the most ineffective, damaging thing that we can do for uh, our self. What am I saying? Our
Self-esteem,
self
self-worth.
esteem. Thank you, woman in the back. What we can do for our self-esteem. So isn't that crazy though? Like we're wired to do this, but when we do it in the wrong way, it's the worst thing that we can do.
Yeah. And I love that. And this is exactly what I was saying earlier, which is go on social media and post and make it about you and then get the hell out of there. So I'm doing it the
There,
right way.
that also sounds unhealthy, but I see what you're saying, and I feel like that is the better, the better of the two evils. Like,
Yeah. No, it's not unhealthy. Well, most of the time, what I'm posting is in the spirit of helping someone, right? Like I want to encourage,
yeah, right.
motivate, and share. And that's my heart posture in doing it, not just, hey, see me, I'm wonderful, I'm great. So there's that, but like you just said, it's what you do after. And I always tell people it's okay to be angry about something or to feel disappointed. All of those things, you just can't sit there for too long. Same thing, right?
Right.
Feel it and then get your ass up and go. Keep it moving. Keep it moving.
Right. Oh my gosh.
What about like in the workplace? Like I just, I'm in sales and I think every month you get your stats of where you're compared to your colleagues,
Yep.
but yet you may or may not know like what your territory is compared to their territory. And so,
Mm-hmm.
Because that makes a difference.
it's a monthly thing where I mean, personally, like every month I'm looking at it like, oh my gosh, like this person is kicking my butt or this
Yep.
person's really good. Why aren't they way up here? Um, but like, you don't know the whole story. And I think that that's true with like so many workplaces, like, and it might not just be a sales thing or whatever, but you're comparing yourself to someone else when you don't know the whole story. And I think that's the a little in my brain, that's like the key to what this comparison spiral is. Like you're comparing you're comparing what you're accomplishing or your goals or what your successes are to somebody who you don't really know what theirs are. Maybe you know a little
Yeah.
bit, but you don't know the whole story. So it's just not an equal. It's not an equal comparison. You can't win
So
really.
my thought on that is probably like plus and minus. One, I think that healthy competition, like we as salespeople, we need to have a carrot out there. We need to have a
Yeah.
bar. we need to have that to chase. Otherwise, in my own, if I win here or win here, I don't necessarily, if somebody pushes the bar higher, I'm going to reach for the bar as high as it's put. But if you're comparing apples to oranges, then it makes it hard, and it's deflating for the people who can't ever reach that because they have other things working against them.
Yeah.
So I think in part of your comment, Jamie, is that I think some of that relies on, or it's the responsibility of your sales managers and the leadership of your company to set the sales goals. It doesn't need to be equal, like everyone's getting a participation award, but it does need to be attainable. And I'll give you a good example. In our company, they had a sales contest, and it was based purely on numbers
Revenue.
way back when. And so they changed that because people were talking about it. It's just not fair. Well,
Right.
then they started changing it to profitability. So how profitable are sales? And so, and that made it a little bit even. And so, but now they flipped it around. And so now it's revenue generated per product sold. So it's an average across the board of how much you're generating as it relates to the number of products. So it's like a little bit of a logarithm to get to where you're at. But I feel like they're a constant attempt to, okay, we don't want to keep awarding the same person every single year. We know dude's good. So how can we figure this out so the person that has a small territory that's still kicking butt in their own jurisdiction can get awarded in whatever way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you see that, Jess, in yours?
Yeah, and this is kind of a we could do a whole episode just on this, by the way.
Right.
But this is why I encourage in sales orgs, there's no two territories that are the same. A territory's quota needs to be based upon the territory and what they're able to do. So if whatever that is, then it should be goal attainment. So if you have a small territory, I'm expecting based on historical data for you to be able to hit this number. If you hit this number, you're at 100%. If you hit half it, you're at 50%. So your percentage to goal attainment based on the goal for your territory is what everyone should be ranked on. And that's to make it fair. And you know why it's not like that? Because people don't want it to be fair. Because like you said, we know dude is great, but do we know dude is great? No, he's just used to being great and we want him to be great. So that's another show. It's not cool.
Mm-hmm. So there are some patterns that show up in the way that we compare, and the way that, I mean, really it's everyone, but if we're talking women that are high achieving, work lots of things, lots of balls in the air. So I want to talk about some of these patterns. So one is that pattern one is comparing your insides to somebody else's outside. And Jamie, this is what you were talking about, is that you kind of know your own full story. You know what your territory looks like. You know all the things, and even the anxiety, the effort, all the things that go into that. But we're only comparing our full story to somebody else's highlight reel. And that's a trap that forces us into a little bit of a spiral.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or people see where you're at and they have no idea the journey that you went on to actually get there.
Yeah.
I mean, it is really like when I've had so many conversations with people that I've known maybe in the last 5 years, and we've never sat down and had a personal talk. And when we do, and we kind of get deeper in their story, they're like, I had no idea. Some people are like, that makes all the sense now. And so it really is hard to compare yourself to someone. You have no idea they've been through hell and back to get there. Do you really want to be like them? If you had to take their road to get there, do you really want to be like them? So to your point, you don't know the whole story.
I was out, this is probably last summer, maybe the summer before, and we were out. One of my favorite things to do in the summertime is a boat ride, just in the middle of a lake on the boat, sun shining. And we were out on nice lake. You just kind of house envy, go around the lakes and you just see the big house. And then
don't do that in Miami. Oh gosh. Yeah.
I mean, exactly. Right. And I was joking with a friend of mine that I was sitting next to, and they had said, oh my gosh, like I wonder what they do. Could they just put like almost like a for sale sign on the front of their yard so we just know, oh, he's an anesthesiologist. He's a real estate guru or whatever.
Yeah.
And and as we were talking about it, what had come up, and I'm like, but also could they also in like a smaller sign or even a bigger sign next to it say, this is all the things I gave up to
Mm-hmm.
have this house. Like I
Mm-hmm.
haven't seen my son play baseball in 4 summers,
Mm-hmm.
or I work 90 hours a week. All the things that happen, or maybe I won the lottery,
Yeah.
or maybe I just worked my tail off and this is my lifelong dream of having this house on the lake.
Right.
Whatever it is, but just kind of those things that frame up it wasn't just this just didn't happen overnight.
Right.
Yeah.
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 No,
Back
whole
to the
story.
back to the story. You know what I mean? Yeah. I was just thinking I facilitated a training, a couple weeks ago. You guys know it was 4 hours long. And I was thinking to myself, most of the people in this room have only worked at this company as long as I have. And so I had a little bit of that self-consciousness where I was like, I really hope they take me seriously. And I think it goes back to what you said, Jess, too, about kind of your background. When I start and facilitate this, they understand that I've had 25 years of sales experience. I didn't fall into this job and yes, I've only been here as long as you have been here. And I know I'm in here with the leadership team and whatever, but I
Yeah.
really had a little anxiety that I would have the opposite effect. I would
Right.
have a room full of people I'm supposed to be teaching not participate. You know what I mean? Or like, look at me like,
Yeah.
who are you to be up there?
Right.
Which, and I think that is probably pretty common in, especially like you said, Corlin, like when females in particular get to like a really high up position or a successful position. I think that that's probably a pretty common theme in our heads of I want them to know what I did to get here, and I want them to respect my position. And this comparisons it can go both ways. It can also make you feel like, oh my gosh, take me seriously, answer my questions, participate in
Yeah.
my presentation.
Yeah.
Like, throw
And
me a freaking bone.
yeah. And here's another thing too that I think that, and I may be jumping ahead, Corlin, because I did do my homework and read your
Jump,
notes. I'm sorry.
jump.
So, but here's the biggest thing when it comes to this and many other things. The negative self-talk. We have to know how to shut that thing down, because
Yeah.
if we don't, that's what really spirals. It's not even the scrolling or the comparison, it's the negative self-talk. And we have, and for me, it's almost like people used to give me a basic compliment, like, oh my God, that sweater looks so cute. And I'm like, yeah, I know, but I feel so fat in it. And it's like, oh, your
Just say
hair
thank you. Just say thanks.
exactly.
Exactly.
And now I'm getting better at it, but we're so used to that it's sometimes a reaction to a compliment, but then it goes further than that. And then you're just responding to yourself. And then you're starting the conversation with negative thoughts. And like to your point, Jamie, you're excited. It's an honor and a privilege to be asked to stand up in that room in front of all those people and lead that thing when you haven't been there long. And what do? You start talking to yourself about why you don't deserve to be there and how they're going to take you. Like, we have a bad habit of doing this. And so
Yeah.
for me, any bad habits that I have, I try to reverse them with other good habits. And think about it. As long as it has taken us to get to the point of this many years of negative self-talk, we have to have these little habits that we're undoing them. And I'm sorry, for me, and it really drives my husband crazy, it's talking to myself. I talk to myself. I answer myself. I do all of that. Sometimes I have to have whole conversations with myself. And it's because I am undoing the bad habits of this negative self-talk. And to me, that's one of the biggest issues with what we're talking about today. It's not even the comparison. It's what we do after, which is a lot of negative self-talk.
Yeah. Well, let's just go there. I feel like the next piece of it is how do we, to your point, how do we get out of this spiral? And to talk about that a little bit, I think you got to give yourself a pep talk, but what is it that you're addressing? I think that you have to get to the root of what it is that you're feeling. Like, am I feeling like, am I actually scared? And am I feeling a little nervous? Am I prepared enough? And when those, like, if you actually get to the root of what it is that you're feeling, then you can address it. Actually, I am prepared enough. I've looked at this material in and out for the last 2 weeks. I actually, is it a lack of confidence? Well, why? I've been a sales rep for 25 years. Like, I should be confident. So it's addressing where that negative piece is. Or did somebody say something to you that you just can't let it go? I've had somebody tell me something negative where I just hold on to that thing for years. Like, and I've owned that as a piece of my own, where I just need to just open my hand and let it go and just say, that is not me.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. No, I agree. And again, it's just figuring out, just, you got to stop it. I mean, you hear it when it's happening, and you got to be committed to just, I'm going to stop right here in my tracks. And
Yeah.
I'm going to, like you said, tell myself, I've been doing this for 30 years and I've been in places and I have all these accolades and I have won these awards and all of those things. And so it's just stopping yourself as soon as it starts, and then talking yourself through why these things are not true.
Yeah. Well, and we've talked about this so many times, but surrounding yourself with people, right? That your tribe of people who will help you talk yourself out of it. Me getting ready for that and telling you guys, oh my gosh, I've got to do this and I have to come up with 4 hours of content or whatever. And both of you guys saying like, oh my gosh, you're going to get it. Like, it's going to be great. You're going to be awesome. Like, those are the kinds of things where it's like you're vocal about some of your concerns, or maybe you're vocal about, I just started doom scrolling and now I feel like crap because I thought, whatever. Like, telling your friends and your tribe and the people who love you that, and the people
Yeah.
who support you that, and talking to those, whether that be your friends or spouse or teachers or mentors or whatever. I think that's just another part of it. Like, when you can't get yourself out of negative talk,
Yeah.
your loved ones can get you out of negative talk. You just got to
Yeah.
tell them, right?
Right. You got to be vulnerable, and you got to have the people that you can be vulnerable and, say those things. And it's all, you got to have those people. I think is really a key piece. There's got to be, there was something, I'm not going to share what it is because it's super duper embarrassing. Okay, I'll share it. I couldn't remember.
That was quick.
Okay, never mind. I got it.
I could not remember if I dated this guy, and I had to text Jessica Sanchez.
Why are you whispering?
This is a safe place, right?
We're just amongst ourselves and all of our listeners. It's
Right.
fine.
It's fine.
And I was just going to out her, and I take that back. So I texted a friend, and I was like, oh my God, this is so embarrassing. This is so bad. But this random person just requested me on Facebook, and I don't want to accept him if I dated him. Did I date this guy? And then she was just like, oh my God. She's like, no. And I said, and that's horrible. Who doesn't remember that? She's like, girl, I did that before. Don't even worry about it. I know exactly what you mean. I'm like, so you didn't know whether or not? She goes, yes, I did. And I was like, oh my God, thank you for saying that. To me, that was super embarrassing. It's like, who the hell doesn't remember? Am I that old, or did I date that many guys?
Same.
I'm not answering that. Probably both.
Oh. Anyway.
I liked what you said, Jessica, about you just have to shut that stuff down, like that talk. But the other piece of that is just changing your atmosphere, changing the environment that you're in. So I have to remind myself, if I'm doom scrolling, there's a very easy way to stop, and that's shut my phone off.
Start driving.
Remove the app from my phone. Take a walk. Talk to a live human. Like, any of those things that would add to to re-counter these negative thoughts that are coming.
Yeah.
But I also feel that we need to think about what it is that we're watching across the board. And it's not just social media, it's TV, it's what podcast you're listening to, it's what humans in your circle are that
Yes.
are loud, but they don't even know what they're talking about, or the people
Yes.
that are just like the loudest but also uneducated. So we really need to tune up our filter when we're trying to do better things, be
Yes.
better, move in a different direction.
You know what? Write that down, because that's a whole nother show. And that is seriously, no, but that's good. If that's what's causing you, and I'll give you a perfect example of that. You know, you talk about in your car. So I've gotten to the point now where I found like I couldn't have enough time to spend in just silence and meditation and just silence, right? And so now I've made a point where when I get in my car, there's no, I know I call you guys sometimes, but there's no radio. There's no radio. There's not, and I'm not saying it forever, but until further notice, there is no radio. When I get in the car, it is complete silence. And that has helped me so much. So when you notice, everything is a strategy for me, by the way. Like when you notice that there's something that you need to, like you said, I know I'm doing this scrolling thing. And you say to yourself, okay, where's the number one place that you scroll? And maybe it's at night in the bed, right? So now I have a new strategy. And that is I'm going to put my phone on the charger on the other side of the room. I got a new place for my phone, right? And that's because when I get in that bed, it's a strategy. So now what am I going to do instead of that? I don't know. Figure out something else you can do in bed at night. So
Ooh. Do tell, Jessica.
Wait, Mr. Smith, I got an idea for your strategy. So it's just coming up with things to replace, but you got to identify it and you got to want to change it, right? And then come up with a strategy. Identify this is not serving me. And sometimes it's people. These people are not serving me in where I want to grow. If they're not serving you, then you got to go. Oh, that rhymed. That was good. Yeah. Right.
T-shirt, Jamie. Get on it.
And I thought it was okay because I thought I was serving them. And I didn't realize that I have a heart to serve. But if I'm giving and I'm not getting anything, and in fact, I am getting something, and that's negative energy and putting me in a place that I don't want to be, no. New strategy.
Mm-hmm. This has been a fantastic conversation. What are any last thoughts? Anything we did not talk about that you feel like we have to?
I want to go back to something real quick that you mentioned, Core, real quick in terms of how I'm looking at this, and I'm going to use Jamie's example of salespeople in your organization, and you're looking at this person and they're on top. So the first thing I would say is, and I think this is helpful, I don't care if you know that they have a huge advantage in their territory, or Corlin, if you're looking at someone and you know that they were just born with that body and they didn't even work for it, cheer them on. Like let that be. Let that be. And even I'm going to use things that get me. I know that this person was, the VP's daughter, and she has never really worked a day in her life. And there she is, keep getting promoted. All of those things. I think that it is just so healthy to still celebrate them, like genuinely celebrate them. I don't care, whatever the case may be, the end result, good for you. And I want to mean that with my heart, not just like, well, good for you. No, mean it with your heart, sincerely celebrate them. I think that's just a good practice. And then you also mentioned like looking at the situation and evaluating just for a moment to say, is there something that maybe I'm holding on to from a past experience that I'm letting really take me to this place? Because if so, I need to go and deal with that. Because if not, that thing will haunt you until your last days. And then the last thing I would say, so I'm just thinking as we were going through this as like a 1, 2, 3. And then that last thing is just to make sure that you're talking yourself right out of that. That as soon as that negative talk comes in, that you start speaking to it and reminding yourself where you came from, what you've accomplished, what you do have, not what you don't have, and let your heart be in a part, a space of gratitude. And I really think that those 3 steps going down this road would help us all in this situation. So there's my 1, 2, 3.
I would say I have one takeaway is, Corlin, what's on your hand? I have a question. Did you go to
I got a tattoo.
Did you go to Adventureland yesterday or something? Okay, sorry.
This thing
Every
won't
time
come
you
off. I will actually tell you,
That's
now
your
you
stamp
asked,
club.
I walked the global 6K with my family to get clean water for kids in countries that don't have clean water. And this was the
There you
tattoo that will not
Oh,
come
I
off
was
my
going to
hand.
say that was the stamp over the weekend and you didn't shower?
I was
It's a,
like,
it's a temporary tattoo that I probably need a Brillo pad to get off my hand.
did you go to New
I
Zealand?
like
What did
it.
you do?
I like it.
My takeaway is more along the lines of our reaction, right? So, whether it be the girl who gets promoted, or the social media post, or your sibling who makes more money than you, or whatever it is, or the really filtered picture that you see, and everyone's like, "Oh my gosh, you look so beautiful," and you're like, "That is 1,000 filters." Instead of, and I've been practicing this myself, instead of even thinking the thought of, come on, like, none of us believe that. Instead of thinking that, or even saying like something that might not be construed as a positive comment, just like change your mind a little bit and say, you know what, like Jessica said, I'm going to celebrate you. Like, good on you. I'm glad you look that great in that holiday
I'm
photo.
so glad that you look that great.
I feel like there's been so many times when I think I get snarky, right? I want to say something snarky, and I'm not gonna, but even thinking it, that's taken a little bit out of you too, and that's not the right mindset to have. So I guess my takeaway really is, and that's something I've been working on a lot, and it's not like I'm a snarky person necessarily, but yeah, I mean, somebody else gets promoted and I think, they've never had a job before. How'd they get that? Instead of thinking that way, it's good job. I'm happy for you. Let me know how I can help you,
Yeah.
collaborate, whatever the case is.
That's great. Yeah. And I just say your number 3, Jess, is just having gratitude for where you've been and who you are and what you do have will win over any negative feeling at all.
Yeah.
Because I think we've all seen so many people in our life where, and I hate to come with this posture, but it can always be so much worse than where we're at in this little snippet. And that is not the healthiest posture to take, but at the very least, it can be way bad. It can be way worse.
Yeah.
All right. So there you have it, folks. Comparison is not going to stop showing up. We're all human. We're going to probably do it. It's wired in us, like we talked about. But you get to decide what you do with it, the feelings that you have, your action that you take, how you react. So name that emotion underneath it, interrupt the input, and come back. Stay in your own lane and have gratitude.
Yeah.
The one action I want you to take away this week is just the next time that we feel that that comparison spiral, just, you know what it is, just pause and just ask yourself this one question. What is this comparison that I'm doing really actually telling me about what I actually want? Like what is it that I actually want in this? And I think that that'll get you pointing in the right direction.
Yeah.
All right. So thanks for being here. Share this episode with a woman or man or whoever, a human that needs to hear it. And thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next week.